What's up, guys? So a few of you have saw my greenhouse in the background of my video for the Sow Right Seeds giveaway, and they're like, oh, can we do a tour? So this is going to be the tour for this greenhouse. It's going to be everything about it. This greenhouse is 15 feet long by 7 feet wide and then 7 feet high, I believe it is. So I will leave a link down in the description box. It is from Amazon. It's made by the company Vevor. If you're not familiar with Vevor, I've gotten plenty of things from them before. The poles that I use to make my countertop, as well as my shelving inside my kitchen, is from Vevor. The greenhouse fabric and landscape fabric for my cattle pen and hoop house is also from Vevor. So I've done lots of work with them. This is the greenhouse from them, but I did order it from Amazon. Like I said, I'll have a link down in the description box. Let's go take a tour of it. When I did, let me turn it. So this is what it's looking like. It has these two zippers right here. When I first put this, well, actually my son put it up for me, and it tells you, it has these rods down here, and it told you that you should dig a trench and bury them, but obviously I didn't want to, and so my son had first put this out for me. I already had the landscape fabric that I bought for inside the garden, and it was the wrong size, so I used it here. And when he first put this up here, it was the day that it was way, like, super windy, like the most windy it's been probably all, in the past year or so. And specifically this one time, I had tied this greenhouse to this fence right here, because this goes into my garden. I had tied it on this side, but I didn't do a very good job. Like, I didn't secure it super tight. If you see, these are windows right here, and I kind of just use the what is it called, the little string that they had to hold up the window, so it's not to like secure it or anything like that, and kind of like left it like that. And as soon as I walked away to cut the string to like tie it down, the wind picked up so much and kind of lifted it up, so it did kind of bend some of the poles, but we were able to hurry up and run back over, get it back down, and then able to secure it. And so ever since then, we've had some super heavy winds, and it hasn't gone anywhere. We've definitely got it secured with lots of strings. So let me show you. So I came outside the fence so you can see what we did at the back. So at the back, we tied it down. This came with it, the string, and we tied it here across the fence, so we definitely know the back isn't coming loose. So now let's show you what's going on inside. You can unzip both sides and have it rolled up, and then have it sit up. So that is what it looks like when it's all pinned up. I'll show you what I did in the inside. So it came with these ties on the plastic on the front and on the back to secure the plastic, but I didn't feel like that was enough, because like I said, that day was really windy. So what I did was, in certain places, let's see, like right here, I poked actually a hole in the plastic and zip tied the plastic through the fence and onto here to secure it, so that way I knew that it wasn't going to blow away. I also did that for down below. I'll show you a perfect example right here. And because I didn't dig the trench, I poked a hole, a very tiny hole, and put a zip tie and zip tied the plastic to this pole. I did the same thing over on this side, but then I actually tied it. So this one doesn't have a zip tie, it has a tie, and so it is going to the fence, my garden fence, so that way it's secure over there. Again, I did another zip tie with a small hole, and so obviously that makes it not super airtight, but I didn't care. I wanted it to be secure and not blow away. I also put a T-post in here, and then I tied the T-post to this pole right here to make sure, extra precaution, that it wasn't going to blow away. And this is everything I have growing in here. You can see it's kind of lopsided where the wind kind of picked it up, but I love it. I have my heater in here because last night it got down to 30 degrees, and obviously I have all, that's a tomato tray. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trays of tomatoes, 10, and then like 2 trays of peppers in here. Everything in here is frost tender, and so I didn't want it to freeze. So I used an extension cord from my house and bought out this heater, and then just set it to a low temperature, just low enough that if it got too hot that it will cut off. And then this morning when it got above 40 degrees, I came out here. Well, actually I had my daughter come out here, turn off the heat, and I have it open right now because the sun is out, and so even though it is only in the 50s, it is super duper hot in here, so I did need it to air out. I did turn this heater on to a fan setting and was like blowing air in here because it was really hot in here, and the sun is out, and so I do still have to come out here and air it out. But I think that it does also release temperature way faster than my hoop house does, because it does have multiple of those windows, and I had those up for a few days and didn't have to open this thing at all, just because there are multiple like the, what is this called, the door, when it goes down, it's still like when the wind blows it flaps up, and so it's still able to breathe multiple days. When it got into like the 60s and the 70s, and it was like not that sunny, it wasn't super hot in here with all of those windows open. I did close those windows last night because, like I said, it said it was going to get down to 32. It ended up getting down to 30. So praise the Lord that I didn't lose any of my plants in here. I did lose some plants inside the garden that were volunteers. So not that any of you asked, but update on all of my peppers that I got completely soaked. They actually are not germinating. So, well, actually I see one right there maybe might start germinating, but these California Wonders, they were in a plastic bag, and I only see about 1, 2 germinating, so they should have been fine. But like all the other ones that were in regular bags that got completely soaked, let's see, maybe there's one there trying to germinate, so it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I might have to end up replacing all of my pepper seeds, which is unfortunate. So this is actually, well, this tray right here is actually the only tray of peppers that I have. So it's sad, but this is a 72 count pepper tray, so I have 72 tomatoes at least. I did want more peppers, but this will be fine. Actually, one didn't germinate there, so 71 sweet peppers. I've said this before, a lot of you sent me seeds, so after my tomatoes and my peppers got completely soaked, thank you again. I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I'm gonna save seeds from these peppers and try and move forward. A quick overview. I think all of these is dwarf tomatoes. We have different kind of hollyhocks. These are all my zinnias. These are cherry tomatoes, and they didn't have a good germination rate, but which is fine. I have definitely more than enough tomatoes, but I'll definitely plant all of my cherry tomatoes right here. These are slicer tomatoes. Then here, more slicer tomatoes. This one looks like some dwarf tomatoes back there. I'm going to assume that these are my paste tomatoes, since I haven't, nope. See Paul Robson, Cherokee Purple. No, these are more slicers right here. I have some nasturtium. A lot of them are still popping up. Ooh, look at this one. These are green nasturtium, so I'm very happy about this tray. These, I have some dwarf tomatoes that need to go in the Greenstalk, and then I have my, what are they called? They're not looking good because I need to fertilize them. They've been sitting in these pots too long, but these are my greenhouse. Some of them are determinate, but then like 7 or 8 of them are my, I have to look at the top, the Grand Marshal and the Triple Crop. I actually might go plant them in the hoop house right now because they've been in these containers way too long. And then here, I think are some herbs. Yep, parsley, bergamot, chicory, milk thistle. Yep. This is my tray of spicy peppers that are only a tiny bit of them, so not many. Some more dwarf, well, just really one dwarf tomato here. What are these? Oh, these are my paste tomatoes. Looks like. Nope. Nope, because that says Arkansas Travel. Variegated tomato. Oh, wow. Look, you can already see the variegation. That's so cool. I'm going to plant both of those. We have chives, garlic chives, and regular chives. Culantro. What else? Those are still slicer tomatoes. I don't know where my paste tomatoes at. Because maybe they're mixed together. Because these are more slicer tomatoes is what I'm reading most of them. But some of them look like slicers. Maybe I mixed them and I don't know. So we have, I just counted really quick. We have probably over 200. Hey, Nehemiah.
Hi.
We have over, hi, Nail.
Hi.
How you feeling?
Good.
Are you still sick?
No.
No? Okay. You hiding?
Hi.
No, you hiding?
Yes.
Okay. We have over 250 tomatoes. I definitely don't need all of those. So definitely have my varieties to choose from, which is really, really exciting. And then my 71 or 72 peppers, my marigolds, nasturtiums, zinnias. I do need to start my cucumbers as well as my melons. We are probably, I think, 2 weeks away from my last frost date, which is March 9th or something like that. So one last overview. This is what it's looking like. Has these 4 windows on each side. These straps is what holds the door up. And then zips down. That's what I was talking about with the flap. You may be wondering, with a cattle panel hoop house, why did I get this greenhouse? I got this specifically to store my seedlings in because I realized after storing my seedlings over in my cattle panel hoop house that I didn't like walking that far away, even though it wasn't really far. But I did have to come out of my gate and walk over here. I was watering my Greenstalk. And so that was the first reason. And then the second reason is because I want to turn this cattle panel hoop house into more of like a high tunnel, where, because I already have these 4 beds in here, and so I want to have more, like, I guess it would be more beds exactly right here. So 4 more of these beds, and then down the middle maybe smaller beds broken into sections where I could get in to the beginning, the middle, and the end. And with that being the case, I would not have room in here to store seedlings in, because I do want to move this shelving that's in here and bring it over to the other hoop house. Actually, I may go ahead and bring this shelving over right now after the end of this video. But I definitely have lots of containers in here that are broken that need to go into the trash, and so I want to get this cattle panel hoop house cleaned up, get more beds in here, and turn it into like a productional greenhouse type thing where I can grow things that need protection from the South Carolina humidity, or just trellis things, protect things, stuff like that. So that is why I got the other greenhouse. I like it for seedlings. It's worked really good for me. I've moved out my seedlings over there probably for the past 2 weeks, and like I said, last night got down to 30, put a small heater in there with an extension cord for my house, and all my seedlings are still alive. So love it. Again, link down in the description box to where I got it from if you're interested and want to check it out.